I'm undecided on how I want to approach this. How much Nux hate content I want to do tonight. It's A-log Nux like Mayo Monkey does to Tipster. I have not seen anything about any Mayo Monkey Tipster hijinks.
Ladies and gentlemen, for
Jesus Christ. What an atrocious voice.
those of you that are unaware, MamaMax is a YouTuber that existed on YouTube for like 7 years. This might be one of the most insane drama rabbit holes that we're ever going to be getting into. Unfortunately, I am way too involved, and that sucks, which is why I haven't covered it yet, but I'm going to now. I didn't want to for a while, but...
Yeah, but you knew. You could have known the whole time that he was a fraud, dude. You could have known the whole time. You backed him up so fucking hard. He's acting like a fucking victim.
Unfortunately, too many people are asking me for my opinion and my take. And
yeah,
stuff
I wonder why, dude.
I know the guy, and we are going.
You don't just know the guy. You don't just know the guy. You were like talking like he was on your homies. You know, everything he did was amazing.
To be getting into it in incredible depth, covering possibly the most failed attempt at being Batman in the history of time.
Yeah, no shit.
So
it was obvious the whole time.
And I assume
but you were singing his praises.
My guy,
Idiot.
Oompy, really covers this story.
Oompy. I love Oompy. Guys, you love Oompy. I love Oompy.
In incredible depth with all the details as he goes, and as Oompaville tends to do. I love this man, and it gets pretty crazy and deep and dark. But
I love this, but Oompy covers everything in so much depth. But none of us figured out in advance that Max was a complete fraud, even though all the evidence was there. There was all the reason in the world to look into him.
I really wanted to cover this situation with kind of my thought process going through the whole thing, because there are a lot of private calls I had with Max as this went through. For those of you that are uninitiated, MamaMax is basically a YouTube channel that devoted his life to hunting pedophiles, which is such a noble cause. How can you even question the guy? Well...
I'm gonna break my monitor. I'm losing it, dude. How could you even question the guy? Dude, this person is just the absolute fucking worst. Fuck me, I can't even talk. Teeth out of my Jesus, Stylo.
well.
Me from the future, here to give you an update that you need because I am a hero and I am falsifying narratives just for you.
Yo, I love people that falsify narratives. They're my favorite people.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, all right.
This story got more insane than I could have ever possibly predicted and or imagined. Mudahart made a video that is insane.
Everyone's covering this stuff. It got so big for so many reasons.
And Nicholas DiOrio also made a video that is crazy of leaked phone calls and NDAs. This shit goes deep as so buckle in, enjoy this part. There's going to be more.
This is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling.
How about I take my motherfucking goddamn covenant, chase you down in the middle of the motherfucking snow? You're running. You see a bunch of us in black cloaks running towards you.
No, this is better. This is better than the speech.
Big, tall, muscular, evil-ass motherfucker running at you. First I start off like this, because I don't need my full speed to catch you. Then I see you start to speed up. Then I start speeding. Then I just go, and I just sick my whole covenant, and they're just chasing you, running at you like wolves in black capes. They tackle you. Run, this is you, right? I'm me, this is you. Tackle you. Grab you. I call over rocks, signal them. Rocks come from behind you. I have all my covenant cloaks, ripping off your clothes, your ass naked to the snow, stuck. Like this. Just stuck. And they'll hold you there. I'm like, Rocks. I make the snap. Rocks rips off his clothing, flops out his BBC Junior on the fucking right ass cheek on the left, while all my covenant cloaks hold you down, and he just forcefully thumps you and chokes you. And just, and you're like, and he just chokes you, busting you, and just humiliate you. And I command my whole cloaks to stand around you and ejaculate bust nuts all over your frozen body, while we force you to lay there and freeze in the snow, bitch ass nigga. Suck my dick.
So based. And thanks for that measly $14 too. Oh man, so based.
And that is, of course, if we all don't get sued.
Yeah, so a crazy update is after Muda made his video talking about this thing, there was a leaked screenshot from MamaMax and his server saying that Mudahar is extremely rich, so we'll sue him for $1 million. So the reason why I was really hesitant to cover this in the past was because I have been, like, backstabbed a lot. Like, I have an issue that I actually trust friends. And I talked about this a little on the podcast, but, like, I'll make friends with someone and I'll trust them too much.
All these people are so rancid. It's so I'm just such a victim. I just make friends too easily. I just make too many friends. I trust them too much. You're such a spineless, wretched fuck. Nasty cunt.
Like, it's so sad that this is the lesson I'm learning from YouTube. Like, I believed in this man.
So sad. It's so sad.
Like a homie. I didn't really know him that well. He's been on the podcast a few times. He's a homie. And, you know, he's a friend, and, you know, I'll believe him.
Allegedly. I don't know if this tweet's real, but if this shit's real, this is about to be one fucking crazy ride. Hello.
I'm just saying, don't take this to assume that people I was friends with, I'm no longer friends with. Like, I'm still friends with almost everyone that I've been friends with. I've just been backstabbed a couple of times, and it hurts. It hurts really, really badly. When you actually believe in people, and then those people are like, oh, well, they turn out to not be as wholesome and nice and kind as you might have thought.
Caleb, I've been wearing
Dude, this guy's insufferable. Holy fuck.
This
is musty, Caleb. This is his true form.
Thank you for the tier 1 membership, Raylan. Thank you.
Really big, crazy, unbelievable, mind-boggling situation that's been going
It's so much crazier than anyone thinks. Oh, Lord.
Down over the last couple days, and I am directly involved in it. And I will explain to you exactly why. But first, a word from our sponsor.
What?
Just kidding. But
I was about to say, there's no way he got a sponsor for the pedophile allegation video. Ain't no way.
Are you familiar with MamaMax?
Okay, so I had a private call with MamaMax right before this all went to shit, and the way that call ended was with Max saying, I'm gonna call Mudahar and apologize. Now he's threatening to sue Mudahar. Basically, it fucking sucks.
The content creator.
It just sucks so hard. It just sucks. There was no way of foreseeing this. How could I possibly foresee all this?
Is the love child of Chris Hansen, Corpse
What a loser.
and Leafy is here.
What the hell is this analogy? What?
Chris Hansen because he's a predator hunter, or at least he made it seem like he was. Corpse husband because of the way his voice sounds. He sounds like he's trying to seduce you.
Just yikes.
Making you believe that he's...
Yeah, that was kind of my fault as well, because I told everyone that was true and backed up his methods and said it was all amazing and freaking epic and awesome. None of that. Just yikes.
Hunting predators or something, I'm not sure.
How many bloody times do we have to do this?
Chief Digger Ryron. Yes, Chief Digger Ryron.
You f with us. We f with you.
And Leafy is here because...
Dude, it's crazy. It was so insane to me when it was made clear recently that all of his past content are fake. Do you understand what this man's content was for the last, like, 5 years? The fact that he would make a video... For 26 of those 30 minutes, it's all bullshit that he is making up.
MamaMax became pretty popular back in late 2021 and early 2022 when he uploaded a video titled, Pick a Side, YouTube, and he accused YouTube of protecting predators, essentially. The video...
Which obviously is fake, right? Like, he was complaining that, you know, people cover...
What? You were backing this up the whole time.
Cover gritty topics and get age restricted, and that sucks. And he used it as a way to frame it as YouTube's protecting pedophiles, which obviously YouTube isn't protecting pedophiles.
Dude, but you were saying how amazing of a campaign it was on the podcast. You fucking sped.
But the point is, no one likes the fact that edgy content gets demonetized. Why is it that a news channel will not get demonetized for something that content creator
dude, this guy is just like insufferable.
So like the cause is legitimate, the method is insane.
It was covered by
ends justify the means, they were saying on the podcast. Ends justify the means.
A lot of people, myself included, as you can tell by this thumbnail that I did.
Yeah. It's a good thing. This sad Oompaville. We're used to happy Oompaville, not this one. This is the Oompaville that's making videos on YouTube, which is protecting pedophiles.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good idea. My videos didn't do as well then, as you guys can tell. I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why they didn't do as well then. Even
don't say it's the thumbnails. Don't see, bro. You make great thumbnails. Okay.
Came on to the Some Ordinary podcast.
I hate these people. I truly hate these people.
His video was done and how dramatized it was and how interesting and artistic and epic it was.
That's all they said. That's all. Yeah, that's all they said. They just said how well it was edited. That's all they said.
He comes on our podcast. He's a normal guy. The craziest thing is with MamaMax. And
yeah, he was a normal guy when he was saying, I couldn't keep my hands off of a pedophile if I saw one in real life, and you know, talking about how not talking about, but he had calls to violence in his videos at that point. Like, dude, he was not a normal guy. What shit are you chatting? You're so unfathomably retarded. Still saying this shit. He was a normal guy. He was not a fucking normal guy on that podcast.
People on YouTube, I don't think understand. He'll make a video.
Pathetic retard.
Super over insane. You know, pedophiles. I will find you. I will kill you. Right, and it's like really edgy and shit like that. But then when you talk to him normally, he's just the nicest down-to-earth guy in the world. And then you tell him, it's like, oh, I think you're doing something stupid here. And he'll be like, wow, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will definitely fix it moving forward. And then he doesn't fix it. But when he tells you that, like, you believe him. He's like, oh, wow, he just took my creation.
So you just never scrutinize it anymore.
Super cool about it.
So you never look into his videos anymore. You never go and think, well, maybe he was lying about some other stuff. Maybe that time where he called the guy who brought forth abuse allegations against him, maybe he called that guy a pedophile. Maybe that wasn't true. Maybe I should go back and look into that, actually, after I repeat it on the podcast. Maybe I should think about that twice before I say it. Maybe. No warning signs. No effort to look into it. Just, hey, Max, I think you shouldn't call Susan Wojcicki a pedophile. Maybe. I think maybe that's the wrong approach. You're making us look bad, Max. It's bad optics for me. I was in that video, Max. You shouldn't have said that, Max. That was bad for me.
About that.
And we also talked about the conversation that it started, guys, because that's what we're all about, is starting conversations. We're in it for the social change.
All right, Oompaville. All right, Oompaville.
At least I am. That's why I do this. Also, the money.
Oh, so
MamaMax became notorious for using his channel to call out.
That was a Jew moment. I didn't say anything. Don't ban me, Kick. Don't ban me, Kick.
You good, bro?
You can say whatever you want here. Yeah. So speaking of the social change and all that stuff, I did talk to MamaMax about this specifically, and I didn't
maybe
Nox
is you
until this really blew up, and at this point my friendship with Max is like completely over. I feel like vilely betrayed. He thinks he is the next Martin Luther King. He says that everyone has to be edgy to force politicians to talk about social change. Martin Luther King did it, why can't I? And it's like, wait, you don't actually believe that you're... All right, whatever. We'll cover that more later, I suppose. But that was a whole conversation I had with the guy.
Files and predators, with a deep, emotionally complex twist. Turns out, there are a lot of people that now believe he was deceiving everyone all along.
Yeah.
So how can you go from being essentially a hero in some sense to a villain in another sense? I don't really, that seems really stupid to say out loud. It sounded better in my head.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh, let's talk.
He was the villain the whole time. You guys just didn't bother to do any fucking checking on it, despite all the warning signs you're talking about now. It's so painful to listen to. These people are just so excruciating to listen to. Well, I get hindsight's 2020, but it was so fucking obvious, and now they just walk away from the situation like, oh, it's all Max's fault. It's all Max's fault. No, bro, you were involved. You were actively involved in this. You fucking idiot. God, dude, I hate these people so much.
Talk about his pedo hunting videos. He's best known for his videos and content that are geared toward.
And then there's me, just always the villain.
Hunting and reporting them to the FBI.
Oh, I'm such a victim. I'm such a victim. I'm always betrayed so badly. I'm such a victim. Poor NuxTaku.
He's the chicken from Hotline
Poor fucking
Miami
NuxTaku. I hate this guy.
Occasions. It's really
Suffer.
odd. I mean, they might
Perish.
say super artistic. The dude has definitely got a mind for art.
That's the crazy thing is his videos were all super like artsy fartsy and not exactly the type of content that I think most people would enjoy. But here's the thing, Max would make these videos hunting down pedophiles, which is probably the most noble cause in the world, I guess, right? Like, if you think about it, he's going up against the most evil people you could think of. So you're not going to be the asshole to say, all right, dude, you shouldn't be doing this, when he's going up against pedophiles and he's claiming he's getting them arrested, even though that was a lie. And at the same time, you look at his comments, and his comment section is all just like, as a survivor of, you know, sexual assault, I have to say, this video made me feel safe and all that. And it's like, who am I to criticize this man? That was the mindset so many people were in as stuff was going. Okay, so it looks like an ARG. It looks stupid and overly edgy and dramatized for the sake of art and content. But it's making people feel comfortable, and he's going up against the greatest evil known to mankind.
These guys are so dumb.
Well, what if he never actually had any evidence for the people that...
You're so fucking stupid. Like, do they actually think this shit is good for, like, CSA survivors? How can you possibly be so stupid to think that just sitting there and fantasizing about violence is, like, a beneficial thing? How can you be that dense?
That he was calling pedophiles.
For sure. I've never done anything artistic in my life except for this. Check this out.
Yo, what? Oh, it's so artistic.
What do you think? That pretty cool? How do I look? Did I look good? Did I look artistic?
That was pretty artistic. I love Oompa so much. I love him so much.
How about that?
That's
Oompy.
Do I seem artistic?
Wow, you are so artistic, Oompa.
Stylo chill.
He made tons of these PDF file hunting videos, cracking down on disgusting freaks from around the internet and world. But his community continually supported him to keep these freakazoids off the streets. Okay, so you can see maybe there's a bit of too much, you know, too much blowing smoke a little bit.
Here's the thing. Like, if everyone reveres you as a hero, you start to see yourself as a hero, too. It was really a mistake that the community had for a long time, that they, that everyone kind of gave him a pass for the reason...
The community had. Can we look at the offloading of blame? This is insane! Dude, I hate this guy. I truly fucking hate this guy. Holy shit. That's nuts. It's an issue that the community had. It's an issue that you had, dude. You sat there for an hour sucking this guy's dick. You had this issue. The community. Didn't we really fuck this up, guys? Didn't we fuck this up? You piece of shit, dude.
Reasons that I've mentioned, but people did, me included, and it was such a fuck up on my part.
I've never received a nice comment like this ever.
That's not true, Oompaville. I think you are a hero. You are a beautiful, sexy man, and your mustache speaks volumes about your character.
How big my head is.
You do have a big head, though. I'm not lying.
On my body, and also how just round and bulbous my ass cheeks are. That's another.
You do have pretty bulbous ass cheeks.
Common comment that I get that I just can't stand seeing. So now the story...
Also, let's not forget that MamaMax calls himself Mama and calls his audience my children, which, like, it should have been a red flag.
Hello, my children. Today we're going to be telling you a story that I'm going to be making up.
Is this veil of badassery is slowly dropping, and we are witnessing a YouTuber with a bit of a hero complex, a bit of a savior complex, right? Messiah complex.
I guess I have like a hero complex because I want to take care of everything and protect y'all.
Do you know what that is? I'll put a definition on the screen.
Bro thinks he's Martin Luther King, okay? I said that as a joke, but he said that to me. And then, like, in a call, he said, oh, no, I didn't mean it, like, literally.
Right.
But I think he did.
For you right now. Okay.
And no warning signs were going off. You didn't think, maybe this guy's fucking insane. Maybe I should look into this.
Oh, such informative content.
Motherfucker. The following section will be about how Max basically can get his audience to kill people, or at least say that they're going to kill people on his behalf. And also, he calls them...
Yeah, remember how you supported that for years? Remember how you were sucking his dick, saying that was freaking epic and based? Remember that? Remember how you were totally sucking this guy's dick when he was doing that for years with no evidence for the beat allegations he was making to accompany that shit? Remember that? Remember that, Nux? Are you going to talk about that? Are you going to take some accountability here? Let's see. Come on, Nux. Surely.
do so. How exactly do you get an audience that's this loyal and this protective?
By exploiting
you post
child sexual
videos
victims
for years about topics that ignite protective instincts in people. You galvanize the public. You get the hearts in the minds. How many
and the wallets? Because my guy
there were no minds involved. I can assure you of that.
$10,000 a month on Patreon
absolutely no minds
wanted
involved.
To support his quest hunting pedophiles, of which he never actually succeeded a single time.
times do I have to tell you, idiots? It's easy to galvanize people into doing the right thing, especially when it involves protecting children and punishing bad guys.
What's so insane is, like, he has clips in his videos where he would literally say, donate to my Patreon. Every dollar that you give me is helping put pedophiles in jail. And
yeah,
like,
crazy how that was happening the whole time.
Money now. And then there's me, who goes live and says, you don't need to donate if you don't want to. I do have a Patreon, by the way. Every dollar you give
you're such
me
a nice
is
guy.
Me
He's such a good guy.
A
He's such
dollar
a good
richer.
guy.
Just saying, patreon.com/NuxTaku.
Grown an audience
You're being too harsh. Max being a fraud was never on the Reddit front page, so how are they supposed to know? Incredibly true.
That is drawn specifically to that mission, which is protecting children and punishing bad guys.
Which is super noble, I guess.
Also a bit of the awesome artistic filmmaking and some sexy, sultry voice. On top of this, a lot of the people that watch his videos, or a lot of the people that comment and feel the need to speak publicly in his comment sections, they share that they have faced a lot of the same trauma his videos claim to call attention to. So it's a very close reference for a lot of people that are seeking justice for the things that he's covering as well. It's like,
and here's the thing, the justice system needs work. The justice system doesn't actually take every villain and make them accountable. So when you have someone who's out here doing vigilante shit, you know,
well, then you've got to support them.
Because you root for their...
What if they're being a vigilante? Then I've got to support them. Guys, you would support Spider-Man, right? I fucking hate these people.
Their goal. This guy wants pedophiles put away, which is, I mean, awesome, I guess. But that's
freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Actively hindering all of this stuff. Bro thinks he's Batman when he's just some guy making YouTube videos and not successfully putting away a single guy.
It's just a big sort of family. There are a lot of people who are able to exercise.
I think he doesn't even realize that he became a cult leader.
Parts of their brain that they normally...
I don't. Yeah, he's a good guy. Really, he had good intentions. He doesn't even realize he's done the bad things, guys. But Max was a good guy, really, the whole time. I wasn't totally fucking retarded.
Aren't in regard to their trauma by watching Max's videos. It seems like that way. Also, a massive element of his content is just calling.
Ringo, you would just support Rorschach because he smells and is ugly, just like you.
Individuals get away with little or no consequences for their behavior, which that is absolutely demonstrably true.
Yeah, I think that it's very important to know that vigilantism almost never actually does anything of use, right? That's why there are laws. That's why there is a justice system. Vigilantism doesn't really work. That's why EDP, all right? EDP has some of the most goddamn cohesive evidence against him in the world. He is probably the most well-known pedophile alive that is not at all in prison, all right? That's just wandering around in public.
This series was my
Oh, well, that must be a failing of the justice system, then. That must be a failing of the justice system. That couldn't be anyone else's fault. That could not be anyone else's fault. It must be the justice system. It must be the way we've got it set up. It couldn't be that there's specific ways you shouldn't gather evidence and that those safeguards are in place for a reason. And that maybe the people that tried to catch him were just completely fucking inept. It couldn't be that. It must be the justice system's fault. Yep, very intelligent analysis here from NuxTaku.
It's the proliferation and normalization of pedophilia on the internet.
This is what I mean. When I explained to him that he's not Martin Luther King, he was like actually surprised. So basically, I told him, dude, stop pressuring public figures to comment on stuff without evidence, and all that. And he says to me, your point is well taken. Though often frowned upon initially, pressuring public figures has historically been an essential tool for social change. Martin Luther King Jr., for example, faced significant opposition. He was frequently arrested, and his actions were considered radical during the time. Yet, it was this pressure that contributed to the transformative change in civil rights. And anyway, he keeps going. Like, every single one of his messages is like he's sending me an entire Encyclopedia Britannica. It goes forever. But so that's the message he sends me, and I believe he crafts every single one of his private DMs through ChatGPT. Like, they all have the commas and the periods and all that stuff. When I got that message, I was so like blown away.
I can't anymore. Someone has to say it. MamaMax did nothing wrong. Making these retards look stupid and grifting the morons that brought into it, the Lord's work. Hashtag save MamaMax. We can bring him back, guys. We can bring him back.
Way and how people can make this junk that he thinks he is the new Martin Luther King.
Let's see if Nux will fall for it again, guys. Let's see if Nux will go for it a second time.
He was taking a stance that people didn't have. MamaMax is saying pedophiles bad. This is not something he needs to convince most people of. Like, it's a pretty basic freaking take.
That is 100. There's a community.
Wow, shocking you realize this now.
Wave a flag that they are proud of. That they're free. The map community.
Oh God, dude! How did this?
Thinking the map.
How did he get into this topic?
Community. No, I don't really like the map community all that much, to be honest. Or
yeah,
anyone who just defends. In general, I don't really care all that much. And also the fact that Anders Breivik, the
what is
from Norway, is still alive makes my skin want to, my largest organ want to leave my body. And then,
bro, that was such a whole tangent. Oh my God! For those of you that don't know what the map community is, MAP stands
what
for
is going on
attracted
here?
Persons.
The lack of consequences that this man points out is a massive potential to galvanize an audience, and in some cases, maybe even try to take justice into their own hands.
Oh,
yeah, which you supported for a long time, didn't you? And you're probably about to support again.
Was that the bat signal? That was the greatest bat signal I've ever heard.
I hate these people. I hate these people. I hate these people.
Has done these Discord town hall things, and in one, people asked him how to hunt predators, and he says that he is making a video to teach people how to hunt. But in the same part, he says that not everything that he does is legal.
For those of you who want to
see again, okay, whatever. We'll watch this clip, and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Hunt, I'll make a video in the future.
I'd rather not hear your thoughts, actually, Nux, frankly.
But yeah,
I'm not sure there are any. You might say words.
Just,
I'm not sure they're thoughts.
Just wait for that video, because it is dangerous work. And
dangerous work. This dude sits in his bedroom all day and makes up stories.
A lot of shit that I
isn't that crazy?
Might not be considered legal.
I probably could have realized that beforehand.
In every country.
Yeah. Maybe there was a way you could have known.
Including our own country.
What the fuck, bro? Oh, why do you think this makes you look like you're in a good light? You just threw out every single case that you ever had. Every time you will ever bring a case to the police and be like, this is a situation that I've managed to uncover. And the police is just gonna pull up this clip of him saying, I don't do things that are legal. And they'll be like, yeah, well, you can just get the hell right out of here.
And
I think someone noticed this before.
Explicitly telling his audience to break the law. If he admits that he's doing illegal things for his investigations and they look
this
up
guy
to
sucks,
him,
man.
there's going to be a fringe of people that equate
people watch
that
this
with it being okay.
That's
and
crazy.
him sort of purveying that message that it is fine to break the law, but only when you're putting predators away.
Where is Rachel?
I'm not going to sit here and say that that's bad. But at the same time, we're not talking about me right now. I mean, yeah, you just can't say you're doing illegal things online. It's not a good idea.
You get it, guys. You got louder.
Doing things that are within the legal system.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing this up.
Like getting people arrested for committing crimes.
Did I just jump scare everybody? I'm so sorry. Sorry, chat.
If you're breaking the law doing that, it's kind of defeats the point a little bit in the modern day justice system.
Yeah.
Let's fight the medieval fiefdom, you dumb bastards. He tries to avoid a bit of accountability by saying that everything he says is fictional and he's just playing a character.
It's all fictional. It doesn't matter anyway. Everything's fictional, guys.
The way he says it, this is like accountability. So after people actually find out that like all his videos are fake, basically, do you realize that he'll say, oh no, I said it was fictional over here in this call, but it sounds like he's being sarcastic. It sounds like he's being sarcastic to get out of trouble. It's like saying, I'm gonna come kill you. In Fortnite,
everything I say, I'm playing a character right now. So it doesn't matter. Anything I say right now can't be used against me in a court of law.
Which is such a fucking bullshit thing to say.
Guys,
like,
listen, I'm accepting. Okay, this is the rule. Okay, if you want the Chad song played, if you want the Twitch's hentai Chad song played, it's $10. If you want it turned off midway, it's $10. Okay, that's the rule now. We're not playing it again. But if you want it played, you can donate. All right. That's the point. That's the rule.
Dude literally thinks he's Martin Luther King. He has an insane complex, and this guy needs serious help.
I really like doing that. And
you're very split on this. I think I can pit you against each other.
Everything I say is not real. I'm just playing a character.
It's $100 for the Craig Beckett version because I actually fucking hate that one. All right, so that's not happening. All right, guys, that's just.
character, a black character, proceeds to say the N-word.
Which currency? US dollars. US dollars. Bro, there's no way. You're fucking mental. You are actually ill. Okay. Where is it? Sure, MV2 Mike. It's paying for itself for it's even here.
Same joke? No, God, no.
I was worried about it.
No. Keep stealing people's jokes.
Now this is
more for an
from
encore.
2 years ago, but even last year in a video he talked about how he started his own underground crime fighting organization. This video is censored for YouTube, so it covers up what he really says, which I assume is something along the lines of pedo hunters, but I don't really want to sub to the Patreon for the uncensored version. He's also just literally always RPing that he's in Hotline Miami. It's weird as
It's not weird, like, if that's your content and you're making edgy shit and, like, it's just random ARG, horror, you know, down the YouTube rabbit hole of cringy kids content. If you want to play that character, fine. But when you're trying to craft narratives and expose real life people that you are accusing to be the worst type of human being imaginable, you can't get away with this. And he did for so long.
Involved. I've got to get involved.
It's constant back and forth of having to get involved. And with these claims,
I'm Batman from Wish.
I just don't have Craig Beckett's confidence. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's always dressed up like a
Have you ordered your Wish.com, Batman?
Hotline Miami character, which is ironic because I think he's completely misinterpreted the entire story of Hotline Miami. This Reddit comment, for example, explains it best. Using violence for any reason, but especially to further a cause you deem as morally good, regardless of what it is, only leads to your own destruction. Only one character, one of the ones with the least screen time in the series, killed out of patriotism. All the others were doing it for other reasons, such as being forced into killing or wanting to protect or avenge their loved ones. All of them shared the same fate.
Violence is not the answer. Violence is the question. The answer is yes.
It's the Patriot game, my friends. Also, throughout the whole game, you're breaking the fourth wall, thinking whether or not it's really worth the violence. Because in the end, you're ironically putting yourself at the same fate and making decisions that lead to your own undoing. It's like a cute thing, but I think he's kind of missed the point. He also references to hitmen and that they give him discounts.
Yeah, oh god, dude.
Why?
I wish I would have known about all this stuff before I got to know Max. Sorry. Oh god.
Duh. I forgot to put the D there.
And everything I'm about to say is, of course, fictional.
Everything I'm about to say is fictional. Oh, now you can't use it against me in the court of law.
Yeah, if they're a hitman, they'll basically, like, offer services for, like...
This is, like, absolutely fucking excruciating. No accountability. No mention of the fact he backed this guy up for fucking years and said how amazing his methods were and said that the ends justify the means and all this shit. No. So, outright supporting vigilantism. This guy is just so fucking unfathomably stupid and he just sits there making noises for 90% of the video and doing Batman impressions. What a fucking useless freak.
Very expensive prices.
Oh, that's fun.
But they give me a discount since it's files.
Let Sheriff Richard Jones.
They give me a discount because it's against pedophiles, but it's fictional. I hire fictional hitmen.
No, we do not appreciate them. In the event that they do not make an adequate response,
I will not cosplay. I will not cosplay.
Really is
I'm not. No, I'm not singing along. That's a hard limit. Okay. Listen.
Their children.
I'm not whoring myself out here.
Show the face of someone that he is saying is a pedophile. He'll say, "You know what to do," in the creepy voice. He'll call them children, and here you have an audience which is basically full of, you know, sexual assault survivors.
There was no whoring myself out.
Okay,
like guys, no, what's happening?
And he shows a face of some guy that he is calling a pedophile under no uncertain terms, even though there isn't really any evidence. And he says, "You know what to do," which. Well, I'm not calling them to action. I'm just saying they know what to do, which is get the authorities involved, probably.
There really is not other options. Is there, children? Another direct reference to Hotline Miami. I mean, this is we're in real life. This is the thing. This is YouTube. It's real life. You can't. A lot of these things are illegal. A lot of this is illegal. Is it all fake? Like, are you just pretending to be really cool? Are there no, like, it's...
I'm not inciting violence. I'm just telling them they already know what to do.
You're blurring... There's a bit of a blur of the lines as to what's real and what's not real, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's the constant reference to a game about getting shit done, which is kind of ironic because he doesn't really seem to do a lot himself to stop files. Like, his track record is not really that effective.
He has a track record of 0.
Or at least we don't know really...
Insane, crazy, you didn't realise this before, isn't it, Nux? Insane, you crazy didn't realise this. That's crazy, huh?
What's real and what's not. He always calls up his goons, saying that he has a crazy audience of hitmen or insane people that will get shit done for him. This is him like weaponizing his audience.
My God,
and this is not the only time or way that he's done it. It's bizarre. Here's another example of him doing this, and that is a call to action, but without explicitly saying such.
Who will decidedly grant these predators the most
delightful dreams
they could never even
Oh my God.
He shows an email of a bounty with a screenshot of gloves, a mask, and a knife, and then asks, who will decidedly grant these predators the most delightful dreams? It's so cringe. I'm glad I don't have to pretend like it's not cringe anymore. It's off.
I hate these people. I'm glad I don't have to pretend it's not cringing. But bro, you had him on your podcast saying how amazing he was. This is so cringe, dude. This is fucking... These people are actually so spineless. It's insane. It's insane.
Odd. It's odd. It's the whole...
It's odd. It's odd. But it's a crazy story. And if you watch these videos, again, it feels fake, right? It
no shit.
feels fake. It doesn't feel real, which is part of the appeal. But also, he frames it like it is real, sort of. Especially because he has some guy at the end of every video that he basically says, this is the pedophile.
You skip this. This is the content. Let's watch it for a bit longer. I'll look for something else though, because yeah, I know what you mean. It is pretty painful.
Find him, and it's like, oh God. Watching any of his videos just makes me feel awful.
Whole thing is, it's real odd. And
it's just like the same thing again and again. That's the thing as well. It's just the same shit, like every 5 seconds. Just Batman reference. Oh well, you know, I tried to make Max do the right thing. I tried to make, he was my friend. I'm just a poor, retarded, millions of sub YouTuber. It's so fucking painful.
It's cool because I hate files, right?
Base Goompaville, let's go. Base.
He was just saying earlier in the video, oh, it's such a brave take saying I hate pedophiles, and then Oompa goes, I hate pedophiles. So, base. Please, dude.
Any of his videos just makes me feel awful.
Whole thing is, it's real odd, and it's cool because I hate files, right?
Base Goompaville, let's go. He's just like Martin Luther King.
21, I made my video, we had him on the podcast and stuff, and even up until this recently when he reached out to me on Discord for his Camden Gerard,
because ultimately this guy's out there hunting down pedophiles. That's fucking awesome. Okay, I guess. I mean, it would have been if you would have just reported them to the authorities.
I hate these people, man.
Davis
thing, I truly
just going off the deep end. Before that I was like, yeah, this guy's chill, you know, he's doing a great job and he's hunting files. Didn't do any research at all, to be honest. Just kind of...
It's infuriating. It's actually just infuriating. They just say it. They're just like, never did any research. Just propped him up. Just said how amazing it was without ever checking into it. While he was doxing people and making calls to violence.
Kind of took him at his word, because if you do any research, if you try to disprove that someone's hunting files, what does that say about you?
Exactly.
It's okay, guys. I'm just a fucking coward. I'm just a complete fucking coward. It's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. I'm just a complete fucking coward. That's why I didn't do anything. Because I'm a complete pussy.
Nail on the head. Dude, Oompa and I are basically in the same spot here. I think that we were both kind of introduced to him at the same time on our podcast, where he was, you know, and like, you're gonna question this guy who's because remember, he lied about getting pedophiles locked up. He lied about literally getting pedophiles arrested. If he's doing that, if he had got one pedophile put in prison, this man contributed positively to the world. So who am I to claim that his videos are cringe or that his content is too edgy?
And now there's just like a lot of insane shit, so it's kind of makes more sense to dig into it. This leads us into the main point of my entire video, which I believe the blind devotion from his viewers and how much just smoke was being blown up this guy's ass. It got to his head, and he recently let it be known how delusional he has become when in October 2023
he changed his channel's name to God Cult.
He uploaded a video titled Brainwash Your Favorite Influencers. In this video, he calls for his audience to essentially spam large creators, to call for them to cover stories, saying that it's a test of their character. So if
you supported this shit. You all supported this shit.
Well, then you are protecting pedophiles.
He is.
PewDiePie, you are a new father. You care about children, don't you? Well, why are you not calling out pedophiles?
They don't do it, they're bad people because they're preventing pedophiles, or they're not preventing pedophiles or whatever. They're not actively, you know, saying nothing is still saying something. Shut up. Ever heard of a mugwump? He calls out a few creators, specifically himself, in the video, not waiting for his audience to chase down their targets. PewDiePie, he calls out. He also
your mans. They got your mans.
As a detail to try and guilt him into covering his
Don't
story.
you feel embarrassed? Aren't you ashamed?
Timothy Breast.
Don't you think you could have done something?
Joe Rogan. Bro's just clout chasing.
Where's that clip? Where's that clip now?
ARE like CoffeeZilla. And by the way, in this video, he also calls out a predator. What kind of predator, you might ask? A pedophilic werewolf god who allegedly lured a 16-year-old girl named Shelby Spencer Slayton to join his supernatural sex cult as a vampire.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet.
That's right. That is correct.
Yeah. So here's the thing. He'll say these things, you know, like they're fact, even though they're only an allegation. He says them that they're fact.
Oh, I've got the clip, obviously. One sec, I'll pull it up.
Like, it's as if he has evidence, which he doesn't have. He just has allegations, and he thinks allegations are enough evidence, even though they are not. And he waited
Well,
years
thanks for
to make
clarifying
this
that,
video,
Knox.
even though he
Thank
knew
you.
about it for a long time. Here's something else that I only learned later.
There it is.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with. Oh, yeah, sex offender. And he was your mans. He was your boy. Heard you grew up with him. That's crazy, man. You ain't know what he was doing? You ain't feel bad at all? Like no guilt, none of that shit. Hey, you know they got your mans.
So real. So real.
Later, I don't know if Wimpaville's actually going to cover this in the video. So this Spencer person, not only is she currently living in MamaMax's house and being given free room and board, and definitely has financial reasons as to why she is doing what she is doing, she's a family friend. She was in MamaMax's high school, and he didn't feel the need to disclose this at any point. She was in Max's sister's class, I believe. This is the most conflict of interest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because when this is presented, it's like Spencer was failed by the legal system, so she came to me. And it turns out that maybe she was failed by the legal system, but also you are the most biased person in the world, and you cannot be making these accusations like they're fact.
On some random corner of the internet.
That's right. That is correct. That is 100% true in the video. That's what happened. He gives the full name of this individual, Camden Gerard Davis, and shows this supposed vampire werewolf deity.
Looks like a vampire werewolf deity. Who
looks just like some random guy you'd see in a cringe compilation. He looks like an 11-year-old boy. He looks like harmless completely. Who would...
So here's the thing. And this is true, because I talked to Max and I talked to Spencer about this whole thing, because I've been telling them for weeks that you guys have to make a fucking video with evidence or leave the internet forever. This was my take literally the entire time. When they made this video, I said, do not come back until you have an entire video with evidence against this guy, or just never come back. That's what I told them. And then you have Spencer told me, you know, her allegation against this guy, and it's horrible. You know, there might even be malfeasance. I'm not saying this is a false accusation. It's just an accusation with no evidence.
Would follow this guy. And, you know, you make such a big claim, you call it all
Very
these
brave,
creators
Knox.
saying, in part, that they're, you know, not doing, they're doing a disservice to the world by not covering files. You have to cover files. You're not just an entertainer. You are a virtuous mouthpiece of what is right. You're a moral arbiter.
He's so right. I didn't think of it like this, but I am a moral arbiter. I am a spiritual mouthpiece. Oh my God, you're so right.
You are an arm of God.
Yo, I am an arm of God. I should stand up for what I believe.
I actually hate
Guys,
this guy.
I have the balls to say something right now. I kind of feel like I'm Martin Luther King right now with what I'm about to say. Pedophiles?
Well, you don't stand up for anything you believe. You literally do not have any beliefs. You are a spineless, amorphous blob. You're a pathetic, weak individual who, despite knowing there was plenty of reason to suspect malfeasance, you decided not to investigate, not to research any further, because who wants to go up against the pedo hunter guy? Because you're a pathetic coward.
are bad. Can't believe I got that off my chest.
Directly when you are a YouTuber. Not only are you just a random guy, you're also
Finally, someone said it. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Stunning and brave, I know.
A massive vessel of what is right when you start making YouTube videos. Or that's not what I thought you were supposed to be. That's what MamaMax thinks he is and what all these people should be. What evidence does he provide to prove the insanely serious allegation and doxing against this individual? Well, outside of a personal testimony from Spencer, nothing at all.
That's the worst part of it. That is literally so awful. He has zero evidence at all, and he's trying to blackmail people into getting into this thing. Then you have these leaked clips of him saying,
Charlie, I could literally cancel you, Charlie.
This video is for Seema Davis. I would like to extend my most heartfelt apology.
Would you be doing streams on MamaMax and Max and Spencer ever tried to reach out to you? No, no one's reached out to me. I've been completely sitting pretty the entire time, other than Colton, acting like a freak.
But the fact of the matter is, your son...
Dude, right, I forgot about that. Yeah, and then they call out literally, like, they dox the parents of this Camden guy who they are saying is a pedophile, even though they have no evidence for it. They dox his parents, they dox his siblings, they just go crazy.
Camden Gerard Davis has been victimizing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds.
Hundreds upon hundreds. That's a lot of people.
Of minors.
Spencer records a video in which she calls out Camden's mother, saying that her son is a predator victimizing hundreds upon hundreds of children, including her, and abusing her in multiple ways, and at one point allegedly trying to kill her.
By March of 2016.
Apparently, he forced her to go through 4 miscarriages over the course of 4 months, which is a horrible thing, and I can't even imagine something like this. 4 miscarriages.
Yeah, I can't imagine it either.
Biological impossibility.
Oh, okay,
so
there we go.
It gets really ugly when you're dealing with claims like this that aren't just unverified, but also not completely possible. Like, it's such a messy situation. And listen, if this Davis guy is actually some pedophile vampire,
dude, I'm gonna spam Chad in the morning. Let me tell you, this guy's getting an earful in DMs.
Kids,
you have to cover this NuxTaku shit, Chad. You gotta cover this shit. It's the most insane shit I've ever seen. It's 10 times worse than the root of our shit. You gotta call this guy out, Chad. Chad, you gotta say something about Chad. We gotta. I'm joking. That's all. I'm liking DMs at all. I'm gonna send something to him. I'm gonna send some timestamps.
If he is, and I hope this guy gets immediately incarcerated, this guy's cleaning everything right now. There's now a public target on his back, and he can run away.
He convinced me and lured me over state lines. I ran away. When I did make it to Atlanta on the bus, Camden got an Uber, came and picked me up, and brought me back to your house.
This is the only.
Yeah, I'm not letting Chad out of the MamaMax drama that quick. Okay, we got another week left in this.
This is the only evidence-ish question mark asterisk that corroborates the story.
In Lilburn, Georgia, he mentally abused me, physically abused me, sexually abused me, and at even one point tried to kill me.
So there is no evidence of this.
I'm so sorry if that's true, and if it is true, then holy shit, you gotta get this guy arrested ASAP, but this was the worst possible way to go about doing that.
From one testimony from one person, and this person, by the way, has a relationship with MamaMax.
Thank God he's bringing this up.
Now, by God, if that's not a conflict of interest for doing the right thing and actually bringing justice to evil people, I don't know what the fuck is. I'm just calling it how I see this. I'm trying to stay real.
So I told this to Max in a call, and I never wanted to release calls that I had with him. I had a call with him, and I told him, do you remember there was this story where there were these allegations against Quite? And they almost destroyed the guy's life. And he came back and he disproved everything. And guy's in the clear. And Max is like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. And I said, well, when the allegations came out against Quite, there was this YouTuber by the name of Lord Bung, a big channel. And he supported the allegations against Quite because the person that made the allegations was a friend of his. And when Quite proved that all the allegations were false, Lord Bung deleted his channel and disappeared. He was friends with this person that made the allegations. And he believed his friend, and Quite ended up completely vindicated. And Lord Bung had to ended his career because he supported allegations to ruin someone's life without evidence because it was said by a friend. And I said this to Max point blank. I said, Max, you sound like another Lord Bung. You are supporting allegations of a friend of yours with no evidence.
The friend part doesn't even matter. He's made allegations without evidence for years. Dude, I hate these people so fucking much. It doesn't... Ignore the friend part. Look into any one of his allegations beforehand. Nux, you fucking sped. Or you support him publicly, full-throatedly, saying how much of an amazing vagina he is. You fucking moron.
And then, of course, Max says, wow, Nux, thank you so much. You've given me so much to think about. Wow, I'm going to think about all of this. And then he doesn't do anything. It's so frustrating to deal with people that are, like, super nice and well thought out and accepting of criticism when you talk to them privately.
Yeah, again, pretending candom is the first misstep. They keep doing this.
Fucking make a mess of everything.
With y'all. We'll get into that, though. All right, we'll get into that. Also, that needs to be fact-checked. That's just what I've been seeing lately. I don't know if that's 100% true. Now, let's talk about the lying and fraud perpetrated by MamaMax. MamaMax's content relies on the attachment of the viewer to the topics that he covers and the people that he covers, the PDF files that he covers. It turns out that almost all of these are fabricated stories by his own admission. In a video from 2 months ago, he admits that the narratives in his videos are
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. There's truly nothing I could have done. I was manipulated. I just fell in love with the wrong woman.
Fiction, but then claims that the predators are real, and so is his pursuit of them. What the f does that mean, bro?
Thank you.
While the narratives were crafted in fiction,
oh, Lord.
The predator and the pursuit was very much a reality.
The narratives were crafted in fiction. What the f what are you talking?
Basically, my entire video is fake, and then I show you a face of some guy, and you would just have to believe that this guy is a pedophile.
Yeah, crazy. If only you could have seen that before.
And I'm not telling you to assault him and kill him or anything, but if you did, like, that would be pog.
Talking about? You just lost me. You just fucking lost me. You're
crazy how you supported that. Crazy how you supported that, isn't it, Nux?
But what are you doing? Why not just be like Alex Rosen or the other guys, Chet Goldstein, and that guy who fucking plays him in fucking Mortal Kombat? Why not just?
How about just don't actually? How about just don't do anything? How about just don't do pedo hunting?
That way.
Go confront them, dude. Why should I confront them?
If my children will confront them for me.
Need to fake a story. If
no, you actually spoke to him about this on your podcast, didn't you, Nux? And he said, well, no, I wouldn't confront them because I just couldn't keep my hands to myself. I just wouldn't be able to stop myself. And you said how epic and base that was. You were sat there giggling about it. Fucking freak. God, I hate these people.
Especially if you're trying to seek justice and expose a predator, you're doing an absolute unjustifiable disservice to real victimized people.
Nux thinks he has a high IQ and it's a master strategist. Yeah, I mean, that's clear from the doxing video, right? The doxing spotting Hololive, whatever it is, V-Shoujo, I don't fucking know which agency it is.
Is it for a fucking YouTube video?
Every time someone would question him or say, hey, Max, you have no evidence. I will not be supporting your claims without evidence. Max would say, you are preventing survivors from telling their stories because of your criticism. I am preventing survivors because I am telling you you're going about this shittily. That's a heavy load of bricks to just drop on some guy trying to give you some advice.
In real situations, and then changing it for
a this guy's so pathetic.
Instead of accurately reporting the facts of a situation. Bold.
He was just so manipulative.
Incredibly mind-boggling example of this is in relation to an underage girl who was supposedly R-worded and then K-worded in his IMVU
Oh God,
video.
I hate this also.
KC is
God.
the girl, and here is a clip of him talking.
Oh, if only you could have seen this beforehand.
You are not ready for this, dude. I watched this video years ago, and I was like, oh shit, this is a good video. And now looking at it again with all the context, knowing that he's faking all of this.
Dude, it's the most insane, retarded story ever. If you thought about it for more than 2 seconds, you would have realized that it was fake.
And dude, I was just dumb enough to just blindly, I guess, think to myself, oh well.
Yes, you are very fucking stupid.
Like, he's a friend. He wouldn't lie about this. And then, oh God!
Fate.
What?
A girl named Casey.
Oh, he was just a friend, guys. I just believe everything my friends say all the time.
Look at his profile picture. KC's profile picture is Pain from Naruto. This is going to be very important later.
Meaning he was one of his first victims on IMVU. She only has one follower. And she only follows one person. Solitary, isolated, and quiet. his exact methodology.
He also claims that upon reverse image searching Casey's profile picture, he found a YouTube channel. Then he got one of his hackers to access the account and find unlisted videos.
She doesn't respond to any of my messages.
Oh yeah, that's a really retarded story, isn't it? Wow, yeah, that sounds totally insane. But God, if only someone had looked into that before. I mean, he was your friend. How could you possibly? He was the pedo hunter, and he's your friend. How would you possibly think to look into this insane story before? Fucking insufferable retard.
It has a Naruto profile picture? It must be the same person.
The possible connection, simply named Casey, created back in 17 with 0 videos. Or rather, 0 public videos. After a bit of ingenuity, one of my hackers managed...
One of my hackers. Guy has no hackers, okay? I'm just saying.
...to extract some unlisted uploads from the channel.
Shit.
That's bullshit. You can't
Good
hack
thing you
the
realize that now,
YouTube
Nux.
channel to get access
No, it's
to
popular to
unlisted
say that.
videos. Why would he lie about this? Okay, I get it. It's for theatrics, but, like, I guess it's probably true, right? Right? No, it's not.
But out of respect for her privacy and safety, I will not show them. Except for one. Her last one. Posted on November 16th, 2020.
This is fucked up. What you're if Oompa shows it, oh god.
The videos is called "This Is Where You Are Worded and Killed Me." He then said that she's dead and is showing a clip from what is allegedly her YouTube saying that she was R-worded and killed. But then when asked about this in the Discord,
in that video that he claims he managed to hack out of that channel,
bro,
he shows a video of a blanket and mattress covered in blood in middle of the forest. Like, this is where she was raped and murdered. Then he basically corroborates this, and he's like, yep, she's dead.
All we talked about earlier, he says that she's fine.
I can't talk too much about KC.
Wow, yeah, this was really fucked up, wasn't it, guys? Shame no one had an accountable for this when it
Because
happened.
it's all fake, right? He made this entire story up, we're realizing.
Tell you that, yes, she's okay.
Just now realizing.
Oh, thank God. I didn't even know that. Holy shit.
Crazy.
That's something I wanted to actually jump in.
Does that sound like an audience member that believes that his stories are crafted in fiction?
Be with you about at some point.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Thank God.
What the f is going on right now? This is so confusing. So now we know he's just calling out YouTubers to cover these situations. And we also know that he's just quite literally making shit up and wants all these YouTubers to just blindly follow him and
because you
cover
did.
a story that
You
he
did.
provides
You did.
zero actionable
You
evidence.
did.
Thank God.
You did.
When he reached out to me about this
You
current
did,
debacle
Tanya,
right
for
away, I said, I'm not covering this. There's no evidence. Like, that was the first
This
thing I told him.
time?
I'm like, maybe once there's evidence.
And during the time he shows Camden's face and just doxes.
And he told me, why don't you just go on stream and just react to my videos? I said, because there's nothing to react to. Your videos are allegations with no evidence.
And then, like, there's no...
Bro.
And then he wants everyone to just go...
I'm in
delve
pain.
deep. It makes no...
Nux is such a critical thinker, isn't he, guys? He's such a critical thinker. Guys, isn't Nux such a critical... Everyone give Nux a round of applause for realising, on the 5th time round, that maybe Max wasn't actually presenting any evidence, bro. Everyone give Nux a round of applause, but he's such a critical, free thinker who finally realised at the last available opportunity that Max was faking all of his shit. Thank you, Nux. Thanks, Nux. I'm glad you're so successful. I'm glad you're speaking to thousands of people every day.
Very confused. In the part where he shows Camden's face, there are sections of the video with text that just pop up so briefly you have to slowly scan the video to even read them. He says that several tactics that Camden used may allow him to avoid accountability. He claims that Camden will use anonymous accounts to spread rumors or misinformation about his victims or even Max and those who are affiliated with the filmmaking.
Which is hilarious, because he's basically creating a shadow organization to taint his words. Oh! Are you coming against me? Well, this sounds like a Camden move.
They're not films. He may try to engage media sources to spin the narrative in his favor. So is that what's happening right now? Did Camden Gerard Davis contact me and am I a puppet? Do I have this 11-year-old boy getting me to say this and Mudahar and all these other people?
Actually, now that you mention it, Camden, he did reach out to me and he told me to disavow MamaMax publicly. He did this to everyone. All the videos that are coming out about MamaMax, it's all Camden. All of MamaMax's past fake videos, well, he would have gotten away with them, but Camden, he reached out to all of us and gave us all the... No.
Would have gotten away with him if it wasn't on the front page of Reddit and he weren't forced to reckon with it.
In fact, you want to know how I know? Let me tell you what happens when you search Camden Gerard Davis. Know Your Meme is the only online source for this guy. Just know your meme.
No, I don't think so. But it's also
I really hate this guy.
What you're doing to him, who you provided zero actual real evidence of him being a predator. So
you may attempt to engage trauma-oriented media sources, leveraging their platform to spin a narrative in his favor.
Bro, you can't even find anything about this fucking guy. You can Google
literally, you don't find him.
All you want. There's no one named Camden Gerard Davis.
Listen, this is someone that there are a lot of people making legitimate allegations against, which is why it would be really, 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 really nice if the allegations were taken to the police.
About this at all, aside from this one image, and that's it.
He has a history of spreading disinformation to deflect from allegations against him.
Max, you also have a history of spreading disinformation, and you admitted to it.
True!
You admitted to just crafting works of fiction for content and sensationalizing this whole thing and exploiting actual real victims of these situations, in my opinion. Max also says that Camden may use legal threats to suppress the story and silence victims. Yeah, maybe because you're just fucking defaming him and saying shit that you have no proof of or evidence of, and also admitting that you're lying about all kinds of other shit. That's like what defamation is. That's why people get sued over way less. This is perfect grounds to use legal threats to suppress, in my opinion. Holy shit! And this is the second largest.
And you want to know something else that Max has been doing a lot behind the scenes? He's been telling people not to reach out to this guy because he's too dangerous. And I think Muda asked him, like, why can't they reach out to him, like, to get his side of the story?
And he's too dangerous!
What kind of investigator does not want both sides of the story?
Max reached out to me a couple weeks ago and made me sign a Discord NDA.
Yeah, I didn't sign it. It obviously wouldn't hold up in a court of law, but he's like, signed the NDA, and I'm like, no?
Which does not stand up in court at all, by the way.
Nux was smart enough to not do that.
It's not a valid NDA. You can't just say, you agree to an NDA, and then you say...
Crazy how Nux is suddenly so intelligent when it comes to self-preservation. Isn't that curious? Isn't that interesting? How all of a sudden when it comes to protecting his finances, Nux is suddenly a fucking genius. Huh. Curious.
Yeah, that's not how NDAs work. NDAs are very difficult to enforce anyways. An actual real one crafted by a lawyer, not someone who crafts false narratives on YouTube. He wanted me to cover this and give him feedback, and I was like,
by the way, do you know who MamaMax's legal advisor is? It's ChatGPT. He doesn't have a law team working with him. He doesn't have a lawyer working with him. Maybe now he does. But basically, every quandary and legal issue that he's had, he asks ChatGPT.
There's no evidence of this guy. I can't even... It feels like an ARG. This feels fake. This feels like I don't know. I want to help. Obviously, I don't want people to be hurt, and I don't want victims to be victimized even further. But there's nothing to stand on here. There's nothing to stand on, and it's just like defamation, and there's no evidence, and
it's horrible.
You're calling out fucking Charlie, which we'll get into that too.
Oh god,
so,
that's
yeah,
yucky.
Of course the guy's gonna use legal threats because you're just doing illegal shit.
The multiple sources he is implicated in criminal activities affecting minors.
What does that mean? Show us the sources. Show us the alleged victims, bro.
This individual could potentially use his charisma and...
His whole argument for doing this whole thing is because now that the story got out, the victims will come flocking to me, and I'll have all the victims.
Persuasive tactics to turn the public against this...
Bro wants to catch victims like they're fucking Pokemon.
...video and its creators.
What? What does that mean, dude? It's like the ultimate cop-out. Bro's playing 4D... He doesn't even exist, for one. This guy's not even real, and he's playing 4D chess with us.
He's probably real. But yeah, the guy is so smart. He's so smart. By the way, he's not so smart. I spoke to Max, and like, here's the other issue. It's like you have all these conflicted stories. Like the way Max...
Well, if Nux is pulling you stupid...
This individual could potentially use his charisma and persuasive tactics to turn the public against this video. Like, this guy's some sort of evil mastermind. I spoke to Max and to Spencer, the victim, alleged victim of this guy. And she explained to me that he doesn't do anything. He just sits on his ass and plays video games all day. That does not at all sound at all like the person that he's framing in this video, does it? And it's like, it's all these just incredible contradictions. These self-contradictions that just make it so bad.
He's manipulating me into making this video. By the way, I don't know if he's not real. I shouldn't say that. I hope he's not fucking real. This shit's wild. No one's getting me to make this video. This is just ridiculous. Then he says this fucking thing.
There's a possibility that he will use social media and other platforms to discredit us for making counterclaims to confuse the public.
What does that mean? You're just saying, you're just providing a cop-out.
These are no evidence. It's all just a whole lot of things. It's like any criticism levied towards me could be the work of this Camden guy. Well, I wouldn't trust him. He's...
You spoke to Max as an idiot, but you bought the Magator lie, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, exactly. It's just so insane. Yeah, this idiot tricked you for fucking, like, 3 years. Nice one. Sped.
Dark of skin and long of tooth.
Like, what the frick are you saying, man?
Thing you're doing. Finally, we get back to
he was always like that retard, and you bought into it. It's so insufferable, isn't it?
Whatever the that means.
Camden.
All of a sudden, it's just such obvious criticism. Oh, it was so cringe. It was impossible to get through a video. Oh, these videos are so insane. All these stories are so insane. All of a sudden, now, just fucking, I cannot stand it.
Leviathans are coming for you.
Leviathans are coming for you.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds epic. I'm gonna start saying that to everyone, by the way.
I don't know if that's some cult name or something, the Leviathans or something. His channel, by the way, a couple months ago was named God Cult, which is a really odd name to have your YouTube channel in which you craft false narratives.
Here's a bit of a Nuxanor conspiracy theory, and I think it's right also, because when I talked to Max privately, he told me that he was working on another video calling out YouTubers for creating their own cults, and YouTubers are acting like cult leaders, and he was going to use the drama channels that were criticizing him as examples of YouTubers that are cult leaders, because they are cult mentality convincing their audience to be against Max. Which is hilarious, because he changes his name to God Cult. He is the most prime example of a YouTube cult leader, where he claims that he has hitmen in his audience. Like,
wow, crazy! If only if only there was a way we could have seen this years ago, before you started sending probably a bunch of CSA victims, basically like fucking lamb to the slaughter, into his fucking Patreon. When you showed him on your podcast and said how much of an amazing job he was doing with his content that was so cathartic to CSA survivors, and was helping catch real pedophiles. Yeah, crazy how you helped him set that up, isn't it, now? It's crazy how you essentially funneled victims into his gay little cult that he was siphoning money out of. Isn't that insane, Nux? Maybe worth mentioning that. Maybe worth mentioning the fact you did that. Maybe you should recognize, maybe you should reckon with the consequences of your actions for a moment, Nux. Maybe you should have some introspection. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be insane? Wouldn't that be like nuts if he like had some introspection? Wouldn't that be insane?
Calling the kettle black, holy moly. But the thing is, I think that this Camden Gerard Davis thing was a small part of a much bigger plan of his to make a big cult documentary. This, I think, might have been just a massive way to get so many eyeballs on his big cult documentary videos. And that's why he called out Charlie and Joe Rogan and PewDiePie and Mr. Breast to you know, promote his channel, because ultimately this is it's a clout move. Even though I'm sure that he wants the victims to be okay and he wants the pedophiles to see justice, I really think that he ultimately wants
to do this. Base level shit. I'm losing my mind.
Every time I talk him out of something, he does it anyway. Like, I told him, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You can't just make false,
this guy is like painfully retarded,
unsubstantiated allegations against someone as a springboard to launch a massive cult documentary
stuff and do illegal. It's kind of weird. The whole thing's like coming together in this really strange way. To be extra clear, I don't want to discredit any trauma that real victims may have. Even the people who allegedly suffered at the hands of Camden. There's a lot to be said. There's supposedly hundreds upon hundreds of victims. You'd think there'd be something, some kind of article or something to...
More than article. You'd think there would be an online presence. You'd think the police would be notified. You'd think Max would have already worked with the FBI.
Show viewers that you wouldn't have to rely completely on blind faith that you were telling the truth. You wouldn't have to rely on this cult level of just influence and entitlement. I don't even know what's going on. Allowing people to see for themselves a problem is the way to do it, not by having to coerce them into joining a god cult. Max then tries to direct people to Spencer's new YouTube channel, where she's trying to build a platform with her new podcast.
Her building a platform is also a red flag. She is getting so much financial gain to calling out this guy. It muddies the water so badly. And I feel so bad for Spencer if she actually did go through all this stuff, which she very likely did. But this is not the way to go about taking him down.
Scan through the podcast.
Very likely did. So he's just essentially repeating the allegation there. That's basically, despite saying there's no evidence for it, he's saying she very likely went for it. There's no evidence, but it very likely happened. I actually think this guy might be room temperature IQ. That, like, unironically, where I'm sensing profound mental retardation. Profound retardation here. This is insufferable.
Couldn't find anything or evidence or anything special in regard to her history with.
So here's the
Yeah, she said himself, it's a biological impossibility that she had 4 miscarriages in 4 months. This very likely happened. I am going to genuinely chimp out. This is so fucking stupid.
So you know how testimony holds up in court? I had to explain to Max in a call the difference between testimony and allegations. He's hunting pedophiles for the last 5 years, and he doesn't know the difference between testimony and allegations.
Acquired. Maybe there's another video on the channel that shows, you know, her going into more depth. Nope. There's a 10-hour video of MamaMax dancing for 10 hours. It's pretty sweet. So at this point, we have MamaMax lying about the authenticity of his videos, or just crafting false narratives, not necessarily lying, completely fabricating elements of videos, and then calling for his audience to seek justice where the law won't. By the way, in regard to stories that are made up. And then also begging creators like myself and Critical and PewDiePie and the needle drop guy that...
Here's a review of Drake's new music album. But before that, a word from my sponsor.
Bald fella, to report on these stories without vetting them first and then calling them out whenever they don't do that. Bro is fucking delusional. He even says that...
It seems the lines between the fictional portrayal...
Why does he sound like Master Yoda?
The underlying truth became blurred for some.
Yeah, we didn't blur the lines, by the way. Us, the people who are watching your videos and the people who are not being told the actual truth by you, the person who we've come for coverage of these stories.
Dude, everyone clicked on your video hoping that they would actually just get a video exposing a bad man. And none of that happened.
Pedophiles, they shall expose me.
You're changing details of cases because you want to make a film and not actually catch a predator. You want to appear cool and you want...
Hey. You forget Oompaville. He found a picture of Pain, you know, the Naruto character, and was able to reverse image search a YouTube channel that also used Pain from Naruto as a profile picture.
More cult members, and you want to be able to galvanize people and weaponize your audience instead of actually catching predators like Alex Rosen, Chet Goldstein. I don't fucking know the other guys. I forget their names.
Okay, but those guys fucking suck too. Like, didn't those guys like botch cases too?
I know Alex Rosen though. That dude's fucking huge. He's gigantic, like physically very large.
Maybe not Alex Rosen, but Chet Goldstein. Didn't he just like fuck up his case?
Potential that he's never even caught a predator. By the way, pretty insane.
Oh god, oh dude, he didn't even show those clips. The clips of him saying on the podcast, it's like, oh yeah, I got this one guy arrested, and then later saying,
I never got anyone arrested.
And for a predator catching channel, so will he set the record straight or accurately
Dude,
portray
I
the events of the
can't. Yeah, I
stories that
literally
he's
can't do
covered
this.
to show
This is
these terrible
insufferable. We're gonna finish
situations
the
and their
video, but
authenticity?
Probably not.
Well, he says maybe, but
I'm
the
losing
world
my
isn't
mind.
ready for it because it's
there's only so many times I
provocative.
can say, like, you're insufferably retarded. You watch these videos. You believe this shit. Even when you saw red flags, you did nothing. You're a pathetic, spineless coward, unthinking, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging retard. There's only so many times I can express the sentiment. It's totally painful. This guy is so fucking stupid on every level. Just unintelligent. Just blatantly unintelligent. 2x speed? Maybe. I don't know.
Perhaps in the future, the time will be right to revisit these stories, but for now, it's apparent that society may not be prepared for such provocative content.
This is the kind of stuff I feel like I would find.
Move ahead to the ending stream. That's
He
the
made
thing.
another video about a month ago, and this is right before he started messaging me on Discord. He was upset with all the coverage of the sniper.
Here we go. This will break it up a bit. Hate when people use anime avatars like that, but IRL, their face isn't close to anime. They face shape, big, square, receding hairline, and smug smile, yet he picks a cool anime avatar. Very based, Addy. Very based.
Sniper Wolf situation. instead of the situations that he was trying to report on and call attention to. By the way, not real situations, false narratives.
Let's take a moment to step back from the online spectacle and face the harrowing truth. Human trafficking and destructive cults are not just issues in distant lands.
In this video, though,
wow, wait, is dude really unleashing the strongest argument of all time, the pedophiles are bad argument? Damn.
He does provide
literally just started spouting off based earlier in this video, and Oompa said that exact thing.
us with a few extra screenshots, as if he's
It's like moment-to-moment contradiction. Videos like this are just nuts, dude.
Evidence of Camden's atrocities. But what exactly does he show in this video? A Snapchat profile with no messages. Also, a Instagram profile that is private. And yet again, in this video, he's incredibly frustrated with how online gossip is getting more coverage than his situations that he's covering, and he calls out Moist Critical, aka Charlie White, specifically for covering Sniper Wolf and not this thing.
Unfortunately, your silence has left me with no choice but to resort to more public forms of communication. This, in of itself, is symptomatic of a larger problem. This lack of dialogue among creators is not just an internal community issue. It has far-reaching consequences.
He calls them out, but in a screenshot of a message that he...
By the way, I just want you to know something else, something that he said in the raw footage of the video he recorded that didn't make it to the final cut. I think the editor cut this part out. This is like an actual part of the video that was in the raw footage.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
Guy's delusional. Actually delusional. I got an email from someone claiming they know Max in real life. And
you probably would have gone along with this, dude.
I don't believe it necessarily, but I also don't not believe it either.
He sent to Charlie. He says that he has no
just repeating shit he's hearing.
of Charlie to cover the story, which is...
Oh, man.
Bullshit.
How do I get up there?
Dude, I love Moompaville faces so much.
I love her faces. I love when it makes the silly faces. I'm a retarded fucking child.
Charlie,
jangle the keys, please. Jangle the keys.
Again, coverage from you is not expected.
This is what I mean, by the way, that every single message he delivers is this long. Like, this is an average size MamaMax message that was written by ChatGPT. This is not human. Humans don't write like this, bro.
There's no obligation for you to cover the subject. Charlie, we're determined to be heard. I hope you will not let us down.
I fucking love Moompaville so much.
Boom. Charlie lets him down. It's just another blatant lie. He says he doesn't care whether or not he chooses to cover it, but if he doesn't, he's going to put him on blast for ignoring the situation and then, like, fake cancel him or some shit. He use that as, like, a marketing scheme. First off,
when he uploaded that video about Charlie, he messaged me. He's like, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think this is awful. What the frick are you doing?"
Worst idea ever. I mean, that's a bad idea.
On the podcast, Muda asked me, it's like, "Do you think he actually has anything on Charlie to cancel him for?" And I say, "Muda, he doesn't even have anything on the actual alleged pedophiles he's calling out. He got nothing on Charlie."
Really bad ideas, that shit takes the cake.
Right, there's no way. Muta is like so unfathomably stupid. Nux is having to keep it. Nux is a level-headed one in this relationship between Muta and Nux. Think about that for a second. Nux is the one going, look, obviously doesn't have anything to cancel Charlie with. Nux is the one keeping them on track. Dude, it's never been more over for fucking hog riders.
Of him just being manipulative, he shows another screenshot of a message which he supposedly sent to other creators trying to get them in on his little defamation scheme. He doesn't want creators to use their platform in harmful ways. I guess I use my platform in a harmful way because I don't cover this shit, and now I'm negatively covering.
I'm very harmful, but let me just say, Max wanted people to cover this story so that if there is validity behind it, the people that were abused by this guy would be able to know that this is going on, and they would reach out to Max. So in that case, you're welcome for covering this, MamaMax.
Oh, you're so cool now,
Job done. Mission accomplished. I am covered.
Dude, this guy is next level awful. Acting like he's doing some brave and subversive thing, Like, fucking with Max when he's just jumping on the dog pile when it's convenient. You're a fucking freak, dude. You are such a loser.
Covering it, which is exactly what you wanted me to do. You're welcome, MamaMax. Leviathans are here, and everyone is happy. Everyone out there that made a video canceling MamaMax, you guys are helping.
He also says that he cleared his original video trying to guilt trip YouTubers like Jimothy Beast and PewDiePie into covering it with cult experts. He cleared it with cult experts.
You don't understand. I spoke to a cult psychologist, and I want you to know that they're real.
And it's like, I'm not doubting that cults are real, and I'm not doubting that psychologists are real. I'm just saying, you have no evidence.
But once again provides no exchanges with these experts. By the way, though, if you're critical of his video, you're a narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath, just diminishing any form of criticism, and also a defender
all of the above,
you can't say anything negative. This is like classic just fucking internet brain rot here, distilled into a new facet, which is something that is cool. Getting rid of PDF files. Normally it's just people calling people fucking racist for no reason, or you know, sexist for no reason, or some shit like that. I don't know. And now it's like you're a file.
My new one is being canceled for being transphobic because I start videos with ladies and gentlemen, which is not inclusive.
Because you because you
You're
don't
so
like
cool.
spreading misinformation. If you react negatively to my lies and fiction, then you're a fucking sociopath. He then shares that he has extensive evidence, yet guess what? Provides none. Again.
Additionally, we have a substantial body of evidence. This includes written records of conversations between victims and the abuser, photographs capturing their time together, and video clips where the abuser is actively propagating the cult's ideologies.
Sorry, I'm not doing the voice very well anymore. Rather than show the evidence, which one might think one would do in this situation.
Yes, one would think that evidence would be pretty pog.
He would rather show a montage of Moist Critical projected onto a screen
Oh,
behind
guys,
him.
if you want to see that evidence, if you want to see the evidence that Max has about this cult, you can go to the video on my channel called something like huge MamaMax leak, evidence server revealed. I leaked it. Isn't that crazy? Well, I didn't get the information. Some guy called Ponius got it. But I shared it on my YouTube channel, censored. Isn't that crazy? You guys can go watch that. After the stream ends, obviously.
Intercut with #WeAreReal and images of alleged victim. You know, instead of images that might compel someone to believe the story. The most ironic part, though, is when he calls out the digital landscape and the fact that it's littered with half-truths.
A lot of people also don't know this, but Max is currently in this really weird trip down thinking that AI is taking over the world. Like, this is a big part of his day-to-day life, apparently.
The digital landscape we navigate is already rife with misleading narratives and half-truths. And until AI is perfected, the problem is only set to intensify.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of how real this ideology of his actually is. People don't realize that this is legitimately, to every fiber of his being, that is, he wants AI to take over the world.
With advancing technology.
These people are like making me like Max.
What are you talking about?
These people are so awful. It's making me reflexively want to defend Max and call him based. Just because I fucking hate these people so much, and the fact they're just jumping on the dog pile the moment it's convenient, when they could have done something to prevent it the whole time. I'm reflexively wanting to be on Max's side.
Dude, you are a fucking massive hypocrite, and not even like a funny kind of hypocrite. You're like the shitty kind of hypocrite.
Yeah,
do as I
at least Logan Paul, he makes believe he's a good guy when he's not. Like, it's kind of...
Can we get the Max and Camden team up to come and stomp all of these people?
hilarious, am I right, gamers?
Say not as I do character. I
can come
genuinely
back.
think there's some kind of hero
We can
complex,
fix all of this.
And the more and more that's come out about this, the more
It's
and more
not
that
over.
I believe that. This is insane. This is classic YouTuber fucking weird narcissism shit, just with a like a holy just fucking conquest behind it for some reason. This absolute moral purity.
I don't even know what I believe anymore. I do think he wants
to consider how his platform can be used, the platform that he's earned, by the way, not Max's platform, Charlie's platform.
But we believe that influencers like you have the unique power to bridge this gap, to use your reach and influence to bring important topics.
Guys, you want to know proof why Camden Gerard Davis is a cult leader? Well, it's because 95% of child sexual abuse is preventable.
To the forefront.
No, bro, you're actually trying to pressure him and essentially weaponize his audience to apply more pressure by making a video like this. You're trying to weaponize his audience to just defame people more so and provide no evidence. That's not how reality works. Then we get the cherry on top.
Dude, this guy's gonna come back after all of this and be like,
everyone is talking about my story. I have collected 4,000 new victims. I win.
Which is MamaMax doesn't mind being seen as a vigilante.
So you see yourself as a vigilante.
I don't mind seeing myself as a vigilante.
Listen, I wouldn't call myself Batman. However, like, if you thrust the name Batman upon me, I will take it.
If you're asking me what I see myself as, I see myself as just a regular guy who is angry at what is going on.
I really want to know, how can Max claim that he's advocating for children and victims, but he's telling stories that are crafted in fiction, by his own words, trying to guilt creators into covering these stories that are crafted in fiction? Incredibly irresponsible. And also doxing people on live streams who have zero involvement into any situation that we also don't even know if it's real at this point. It's blind faith, man. It's a cult. You have to join it to understand. And then finally, encouraging his viewers to find people, go after their homes and workplaces. Financially motivated? I don't know. Bro loves to plug his Patreon at every single opportunity he possibly can.
that is really weird.
When we'll someone noticed that before,
because like, this is something. I mean, you got to make money as a creator. You have to make money.
Agreed. Based Oompaville. Let's freaking go. That is a Jew certifiable comment. As a Jew, I certify him as based. We continue.
Makes sense. You're putting your time out there. This is what you're investing your time into. He's using, this is a really strange form of exploitation that I think I've never really seen before. All making money is exploitation, just at the heart, right?
No, not all exploitation is making money. Ad revenue on YouTube isn't exploiting the advertisers. No, literally no. Only most money is through exploitation.
This is an interesting form here. Max, using his platform, continually states and points out the horrors that happen and occur to children in society, all while asking for people to support his Patreon. That wouldn't necessarily be a problem if he was actually proving.
Nux is one of the bad ones, okay? I'm one of the good ones. All right, guys. This is him. This is my man's, okay?
That he's, you know, arresting people.
Whatever he is,
it would also be fine if he never claimed he was arresting people, and all of his videos are just like the fake Batman bullshit. Like, that would be fine too. It's the weird mix of fiction and reality, where it looks like he's telling a true story
in the ways that other people are doing actively on YouTube right now and have been doing for a long time. But with his ways of doing it, that is crafting false narratives and arresting nobody, it's just going to waste. Or it's just going to him. It's just like building him up into this sort of weird cult leader guy. He plugs his Patreon.
It almost is like he's a cult leader guy.
Patreon in all of his videos and says that us, the viewer, can help stop things from happening to children.
If you'd like to help me punish these, please consider going to my Patreon to join us.
Help me punish.
Oh, do you not like pedophiles? Have you gone to patreon.com/NuxTaku? Every dollar you give me is going to a guy that
you would unironically do that, dude. You can't say this is a joke when you're unironically the type of person who would do that, dude. This is so fucking insane.
He doesn't like pedophiles either. I'm just saying, every time you go to kick.com/Nuxanor and drop a sub where I get 95% of the sub revenue, unlike on Twitch, I'm just saying, 95% of that sub revenue is going to a guy that fucking hates pedophiles, so like...
He's leveraging people's hate of PDF files with himself making money and then combining that into epic false narratives and just creating these ARGs and making a bunch of money off of it. Hey man, audience, can you guys donate to me so I can catch more predators? I'm a good guy, but also doesn't catch them, to be honest.
Hey,
so just
whoa!
Donate to charity.
You're just gonna call him out on his biggest lie like that?
Donate to your local police station. They do more good. I promise. He also finds ways to convey this sort of legal ambiguity in regard to being able to and not being able to show things on YouTube.
He keeps doing that. He's like,
I am making all of this shit up, but I can't show you because it is too dangerous, my children. I will take this danger upon myself, on my own back and my own boner. I will risk myself.
To get people to subscribe to his Patreon and give him money so they can see stuff that's like illegal or something. That's what he alludes to. I don't really know.
Due to the graphic and legal nature of the section, it's been cut from the YouTube version. full version can be found on my OnlyFans.
And it seems to be working pretty well. He makes a good bit of money off of Patreon. Here's some stats. The cheapest
Well, it was always
tier
mockery
is
of the
just $5
voice when
a
you have
month.
any
The highest tier
podcast,
is
eh?
1,000. So we've kind of set
He really calls his members zygotes, embryos, and fetuses.
Tier is just $5 a month. The highest tier is
Man,
1,000.
this is
So we've kind of
exhausting.
set the context. We've set the stage. You guys can understand why a lot of people now believe he
RoboQuest
is
is keeping me going.
irresponsible. And as a result of his irresponsibility,
Is his audience eating us up? Check the comments. Let's have a look. Self for not seeing through their act. This person's like retired. Never think, oh, how I could have not seen them for who they really are. These type of manipulators, these chronic liars. They are masters of playing victims, of pretending to be normal, sane people. No one should ever be attacked because they couldn't see through the liars. No one, ever. These sociopaths are masters at lying. Never blame yourself for not seeing through their act. Hey Nux, why did you call Magnetar a pedophile? After all this came out, you still haven't apologized for doing so. Muta did it, so why not you? Nux, you need to apologize. Don't act like you didn't suck this guy off. This is from my chat. Impersonator is actually what a retard. MamaMax is the lolcow, the way his handling things proves it. You actually didn't add anything to the content. Low quality commentary, but the topic is really serious, to be honest. Nux didn't react to Nick's video because he talks about him and Muta pushing out allegations without proof. Muta apologized and tried to make things right while Nux virtue signals. Lol. Okay, there is some pushback. There is some pushback.
people just get away with it. The people that he's making videos about, false or whatever, they just get away with it. He doesn't take the time to think out his investigations. He tries to make a film with all of these. When and if the PDF files that he's talking about in his films ever get caught, they can just leave the country.
Because he announces them. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Even if this Camden guy is evil, you just gave him the biggest heads up in the universe.
Escape conviction. Mainly because the water's been muddied so much by the false narratives crafted.
We can't let the police do it. I want to do it. I will arrest them. I will put them in my jail. I have my own jail.
Also in my recent video, we talked about the cases that were thrown out on To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen because of amateur involvement. MamaMax does this exact same thing. This is
no, MamaMax is a professional amateur. I'm just saying, like, it is borderline impressive to be as amateurish as he is.
The purest form of amateur involvement. He actually admits to fictionalizing events. That taints the situation and ruins any sort of future for a possible investigation by the proper authorities. Because, like, who's he gonna do? Get him arrested? He's gonna arrest him himself? You can't do that. You can't just arrest people. I arrested an old lady once at the Warren County Fair because she was stealing shit out of my mom's truck.
Let's
and
go.
I put her under citizen's arrest.
Yes. Yes, I believe that entirely, Oompaville.
Oh, he has responded to the controversy. He uploaded a video.
Oh, fuck this response video. Oh, God, dude. This response video got 90% dislikes. Oh, God.
Video called, I Place Accountability in My Own Hands. So far, it's been very well received. It has not.
Yeah.
It is not a good video.
He rambles for 15 minutes, and it's full of half-truths and lies.
He really is. It's really just a big old pity party, in all honesty. In the start of his response, he says he just finished recording a 30-minute video called Silence All Survivors, which supposedly included responses to criticism, his approaches, and it included apologies, and also a call to action in regard to Camden. But the video never got posted because after showing it to some of his friends and survivors, he said some loved it, and some had gripes, and some hated it. Makes sense, dude. He tries to get some audience...
For the record, I don't believe that he sent this to people outside of his little friend group. One of the massive excuses that he keeps having is that, like, why is no one helping me? Why is no one giving me advice? And that, Max, is a lie. People have been trying so hard to help you and give you advice.
Sympathy by saying he's being pulled every which way and can't make everyone happy. He plays the victim. in this whole, he's the victim.
I really think it should be known at how scummy
I
this
like
is.
all
It
of
is called
all these guys who aren't playing the victim at all. None of these guys are playing the victim or to avoid accountability at all, have they? None of these guys have done that whatsoever. No.
Muda said something like, "Yo, Max, you're doing a terrible job about this."
This is
and
just an
Max says,
insufferable video.
Spencer, why don't you tell Muda how that makes you feel? And Spencer, you know, the victim here, she comes out and she's like, "Muda, you made me feel horrible. I feel terrible." What kind of shifting blame onto some person who was allegedly raped? Like, that's horrible.
He's the victim here. He's not really taking responsibility into his own hands. In my opinion, I don't really know what this is.
I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy.
The comment section is absolutely destroying him, by the way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very, 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 very strange. The whole thing is very, very strange. I want to know what you guys think about it, because like the biggest thing for me is that it's just so, there's a lot of cringe in the MamaMax videos. It's like very geared towards children. It feels like it's like children will watch this kind of stuff. And then, but
I mean, he literally calls them children in his videos.
After it's like not, it's now he's being honest, but he's not being honest, and it's just.
This is Nux's second response, because they had a brief talk at the beginning of a podcast about it, where Nux was like, "Listen, I think Max is a good guy. He's just making a lot of mistakes right now."
It feels like fucking a big old fat ass fraud.
It's fucking so pathetic.
Very
So
compelling
sad.
to me. I'll just read it because this is exactly how I felt, and this guy puts it better than I could. What bothers me is the fact that you're housing a survivor and she has a handle that's almost similar to yours. It almost feels like as if you were a thing, and if you are, that's a huge conflict of interest. I understand that the survivors need to be heard, but I think that they should be heard once you help them resolve their issues first. This whole situation looks more personal than it plays out logical. Look, I don't know you, and I'm not trying to be a douche, but I just want to keep it real. Please resolve these issues, take accountability for your actions, and do the right thing moving forward. Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
This feels personal.
It's even worse. So I have two things to say just as closing thoughts. The first thing is I have learned a lot personally from this entire story. From this Max situation, I have learned that I need to not take friends at their face value. This is like the third time for me personally that I regret taking friends at face value. And Max, while we have never been close friends, like to the point that we didn't even have each other's like Discord information or any contact information really until the situation started, and he asked someone to put me in contact with him. But still, I'll be honest, it really sucks. It really sucks. And this is not the first time it's happened to me, and it's bullshit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that got any hate because of me, and because I was friendly with this man and alleged things or alleged corroborating things that he said. Because it sucks. It sucks. I feel slimy for trusting him and for doing that. And that's shit. I don't know. That's what YouTube's been teaching me lately, and it's just such a sad and sucky freaking lesson. And as far as the Max stuff, dude has one option. Guy needs to hunker down and get this guy, Camden guy, either arrested or vindicated. If he's actually...
Poor Nux. Boy, it's just so sucky. It's just so sucky. It's like next, bro. Oh man, I hate these people. I really do. Jesus, dude, that was a fucking slog, wasn't it? This Nux guy is like unfathomably stupid. And like, possibly dishonest. I'm feeling dishonest, honestly. But dishonest, honestly, that's retarded. At this point, there is a level where someone is acting in a way that is just like so stupid that it is totally inseparable from being like malicious.